Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Tim's Tech Talk. Last time we talked about Power Apps and how Microsoft is using AI and GPT capabilities to enable users to use natural language to create Power Apps without having to know all the intricacies of doing so. So, if you want to check that video out, go back to the end of this episode where I'll link that video. Today, we're going to take a look at how Microsoft is doing those same capabilities but within Power Virtual Agents. So now a user can simply click a conversational booster to be able to connect their Power Virtual Agent to their website and then create topics using natural language. So the user now doesn't have to know all the different triggers and options for what they need to do to create their topics. They can just type in what they want the topic to look like, and then Power Virtual Agents will figure out the topic structure of what that needs to do. So let's go ahead, take a look at what that is, and let's go. Now that the bot's created, let's go ahead and test it out here on the left-hand side in the test bot feature. This allows us to ask questions and make sure that the bot's acting and responding the way that it should be. So we can ask a few questions here like, where is your headquarters? Or we can ask a question like, who is your CEO? And it says that the headquarters are in Redmond and the CEO is Satya Nadella. That's right. So now I can start to get the basis that it's acting correctly. Now, what's coming up down the future is actually being able to link in these internal documents. So if you look up here, it says want to add additional internal documents to your bot. Well, what does that mean? Well, now we can add in internal documents, and the bot's going to know not only that that document exists, but what's inside that document and information. So now it can look through that document and provide the relevant information from it. Pretty cool stuff coming down the pipeline. But now let's talk about Copilot, the natural language features that's coming up with that with Power Virtual Agents. So we'll go ahead and navigate over to topics. You can see there's different areas such as custom and system created topics out of the box for us. We want to use natural language and Copilot to do this. So let's go ahead and create with Copilot. Now what we need to do is add in a topic, and we want to do it on order status. So what we're going to do is give it a name of order status and create this topic. What this allows us to do is say, hey, I want to allow my user to do X, Y, or Z. As you can see here, it says check the status of a flight numbers if I was an airline company. But here I want to allow my customers to be able to check the order of their status. So what we're going to do is simply type in let a user check the status of their order and click create. What it's doing now is being able to take my natural language, understand the triggers, questions, and responses that it needs to have for that. You can see here on the right hand side, you have different phrases from that trigger, right? So what's going to start this spot is when someone asks these questions like, what's the status of my order? Have I received my order yet? What's the progress on my order? These are questions someone might ask the bot that I didn't have to manually type in or think of. I just said, hey, I want to let my users check the status of their order. And so it came up with these phrases that might be used to do that. We're going to go ahead and minimize this for right now. We can go ahead and look at the question. Now the bot's going to say, well, if I want it, the customer says, I want to check the status of my order, the bot knows to say, well, what's your order number, right? I didn't, again, give it that context, but it knows that there probably should be an order number associated with that. From there, once we get that response back, it's going to say, hey, let's check the status of that order. We're going to go add in a node and go ahead and call an action to get that information using Power Automate. Give it a name such as Power Virtual Agent Flow to go ahead and get that information. Here you can see I need to associate the order number string here with the order number from above. Now we have different outputs. And again, these can be all customized for whatever you're looking to get, right? We specifically want to get a order name, a shipping method, and even the status reason for that given object or order. From there, we'll go ahead and add in a node to give that response back to the customer. So we'll go ahead and send a message. It says, your order, and then we're going to go ahead and insert the order number, is currently, and then we're going to go ahead and add in the status, and then say it was shipped and insert the shipping method. From there, we simply just need to save it and be all done. Now, what we can do is actually test this again out to ensure that it's working appropriately. We can have a test order number to get that information back. All right, now that the trigger's been created, let's go ahead and test it out just to make sure that it's working appropriately. So we'll go ahead and ask our question again, saying, what is the status of my order? Notice I used that trigger phrase here from the top right. What's the status of my order? And it responded back with, what is your order number, as you can see here. We'll go ahead, put in that order number. There you go. It's going to go ahead checking on the status, as we said. And it says your order is currently shipped. It was shipped next day air. So you can see it came down, said checking the status of my order, ran this Power Automate flow for me to get all the information, and then said your order and gave me the order number. It's currently, and then it gave me the status, and then it said what it was, and it was shipped. It was shipped next day air. Pretty cool stuff. You can see the Copilot features here. If I wanted to edit this topic as well, I can start to edit here by explaining what I want to do, what I need to know. I can even read some of these preview terms as well. So that's what's coming with Power Virtual Agents. Some pretty cool stuff coming down the pipeline. Hope you stay tuned and like and subscribe for more. Take care.